A couple weeks ago, I posted a video on the collar. The collar spread, if you remember, is buying a stock, and then I sell a call with a higher strike and buy a put with a lower strike. And I said we could create this same payoff structure with 2 trades instead of 3. Remember, 3 trades, if I can do something with 2 trades, that's lower transaction cost than 3 trades. The collar is often used if I already own the stock and I might collar it for a particular period of time. But if we don't already own the stock and we want that same payoff structure as the collar, we can do it in 2 trades with the bull call spread, and that's what I'm going to go over today. The bull call spread is also important because it shows, we'll see the effect of put call parity. So in other words, we're going to create a structure that's the same as the collar, and we can do this with call options, and we can do this with put options. In a number of ways. Remember, with put call parity, I can turn a call into a put and a put back into a call. So that's an important implication as well. So looking at a bull call spread as an example, we could buy a 90 call for $7 and sell a 100 strike price call for $2. Right? And if we look at this, well, first before we even start graphing it, we can tell what our max loss is going to be, because what does this cost us? Net, what this is going to cost us is $5, right? So net cash flow is negative $5 when we put this trade on, right? We bought a call for $7, sold one for $2. We own the 90 and we sold the 100, so the idea here is the max I'm going to be able to, max I might lose is going to be $5. And from that I can actually construct the trade, right? I can construct the spread given that one sort of data point, but we'll do it through looking at the individual option trades and then construct the whole spread trade. But for $7 here, right, so if I bought this call option, roughly it's going to look like this. And if I sold the 100 call for $2, roughly it's going to look like that, right? And then to get the spread trade, we can just sum these two at every point. So again, usually go at the kinks. But and one thing to note, this is approximate, meaning this right here is $2, but this line should be $3, right? So, this line should actually be above it. So just, we'll use these as a guide, not exact, right? But anyway, so 2 and 7, this is going to be, lose $5 here, right? So this is going to be the spread. Once I know that it's $5, right? This is going to go up with a slope of 1, so I know this is going to cross the axis at 95, so I know I'm going to break even there. And then I'm going to go up to plus $5 here. Note it's the spread is going to have a max loss of $5, a break even of 95, and a max gain of $5. Note it's not always, so if I'm using 90 and 100, most of the time it's not going to be symmetric, like a max loss of 5 and a max gain of 5. Usually it's going to be like max loss of 6 and a max gain of 4. It's just the numbers I chose. So this is what the spread looks like, right? So below 90, right? So 90 and below we lose $5, and it doesn't matter how far below 90. We still only lose $5. Again, the max gain is going to be $5 here. No matter how far above 100 it goes, we still gain only $5, right? So this now, if you remember, this is the same structure as the collar spread. And in fact, if you're looking at the same stock and you construct a collar with the same strikes, you're going to get the same exact max gain, max loss, break even payoff structure. Now, this is bull call spread, right? So we're using call options. But we can do the same thing, right, if we change this to bull put spread. And again, what we can do with options is we can do something in many different ways, right? So we can't get a better payoff, but we can, what I can do with calls, I can also do with put options, right? Just like I can create a butterfly with call options, I can create the same butterfly with put options, right? And they'll have the same payoff. So what I have to do here is I actually have to construct it. It has to have the same max gain, max loss, break even. If it didn't have that, there would be an arbitrage. And maybe I'll talk about that a little bit at the end. But to do this, all I have to actually do is change this to put. Again, these don't have to actually stay the same. But they have to be option premiums values such that I get the same payoff structure. So I'm just gonna leave them the same, but it could be like 6 and 1 and so forth. But if I do this, buy a 90 put, but actually this won't work. If it's a put option, the 100 strike is gonna have a higher value, right? So this is gonna be $7 here, and this is gonna be $2, right? And then, so if I sell the 100 put for $7, this is going to be, I receive $5 when I put this trade on, right? So let's graph the spread and look at our max gain, max loss, break even. So what do we have here? Let me draw my line here. I got 90, 100. Try to get this stuff off the axis there because it might not be the same. What do we have? If we start with 100, I sold 100 put for $7. So what this is going to look like is here. And usually, you know, I often say this, but when you're working on a lot of spreads, you know, it's good to have the just general graph of buying a call, selling a call, buying a put, selling the put in your kind of in your brain, right? So if we buy a call, it looks like that. If we sell a call, it looks like that. If we buy a put, it looks like that. If we sell a put, it looks like that. So the idea here is it gets a lot easier when you can kind of remember that sort of stuff. But so we sold a 100 put for $7. Right, so this is obviously plus 7 there. Buy a 90 put for $2. So we buy this put. Now, maybe I'll make my artwork a little bit better here, but so if, you know, because this is going to be -3 here, so I'll put this somewhere here, so that's a -2, right? I don't want to, there we go. So now, all we have to do is, again, we could do the same argument. My max gain is going to be $5, I know that here, but we can look, this is plus 7 minus 2, so that's going to be 5, right? Max gain of 5. You know, over this interval 90 to 100, I'm going to go, you know, the put I bought doesn't have an effect. It's the put I sold at 100, which has an effect, so I'm going to go along with that down to here, right? This is going to cross at 95 again, and then here, right? So same max gain, max loss, break even, right? And again, that has to hold. If for some, and you can do this as an exercise, if you were to do this with, you know, you created a bull call spread and you created a bull put spread, and one was, you know, they weren't the same, then obviously you could just buy the one with the better payoff and short the one with the worse payoff, right? And so you could construct an arbitrage, right? So, you know, we're going to get the same value, but yeah, so we have the exact same structure. So if you want this structure where I want to bet that the stock is going to go up, but I want to sort of limit my losses, but to limit my losses, I have to limit my gains. We talked about that in the collar. Then you can create this structure in a number of ways. You can do the collar, you can do a bull call spread, or you can equivalently use puts. Buy put call parity. Lastly, on the other side of this, obviously we can create bear spread. So a bear spread here, this is just 2 options, so it's a zero-sum game, right? So if we bought this bull put spread, right, we could easily turn it into a bear, and we could have done this with a call as well. All I have to do is sell and then buy, right? So in other words, I take the other side of this trade. What does the other side of this trade look like? Well, it's just the spread, which is the, you know, reflected about this. This is my dollar axis, right? So the idea is, if I bought the spread and somebody sold it, then the sum of the profits from the buyer and the seller should sum to 0 at every point, right? So that's why it's just reflected about this axis. So, you know, so in other words, that would be that's the bear put spread. And obviously, I won't write this up here because I'm sure at this point you believe me. We can easily construct a bear spread with call options. So call options, again, usually if you buy a call, you're profiting if the stock goes up. We can easily create this same bear structure where we profit when the stock goes down with call options, just like put options. Again, directly from put call parity. Excellent. Have a great day.